Quick question. Where was Israel's first prime minister born? David Ben-Gurion, Poland. But not just Poland, Poland under the Russian Empire. 2nd PM, Moshe Sharet, Ukraine, Russian Empire. 3rd PM, Levi Eshkol, Ukraine, Russian Empire. 4th PM, Golda Meir, Ukraine, Russian Empire. The first 4 Israeli prime ministers, all born in the Russian Empire. Israel wasn't founded by Western Europeans. It was founded by Russian revolutionaries, 1880s to 1920s. Same Russian Jewish intellectual circles produced the Bolsheviks and the Zionists. Trotsky studied in the same circles as early Zionist leaders. Same revolutionary methods, same organizational tactics. The split was simple. Some said, revolution in Russia, build communism. Others said, revolution in Palestine, build a Jewish state. Same people, same playbook, different geography. The kibbutz? That's just a Russian collective farm. Haganah militias? Russian revolutionary cells. Israel's foundation is Russian, not Western. And that changes everything about what comes next. 1989 to 2000. Soviet Union collapses. 1 million Russian speakers moved to Israel. We're told, finally free, returning to homeland. Beautiful story. Here's the reality. Look at when this happened. Soviet Union collapsing. State assets being looted. Oligarchs emerging with billions. Where do you take stolen billions? Israel. Law of return. Any Jew can immigrate, no questions asked. Perfect for money laundering. Asset protection. New identity. And here's the thing. Many weren't even religiously Jewish. Jewish father, not mother. Or just Jewish-sounding names. Israel accepted them anyway. Needed population. They brought Russian media, Russian banks, Russian organized crime, Soviet intelligence networks, KGB training, and massive wealth. Roman Abramovich, Mikhail Fridman, Lev Leviev. Russian oligarchs funding Israeli politics, especially the right wing, especially settlements. They created their own party, Yisrael Beitenu, Israel Our Home. Led by Avigdor Lieberman, Russian immigrant. He becomes defense minister, foreign minister. Netanyahu can't govern without Russian backing. By 2000, Russians don't just influence Israeli politics, they are Israeli politics. This wasn't immigration, this was infiltration. Here's the play nobody sees. Russia thinks Israel is their asset in America. America thinks Israel is their ally against Russia. Israel plays both, serves itself. How? To Russia, Israel says, we're still yours. Russian Jews, Russian oligarchs, Russian networks. We'll infiltrate America for you. To America, Israel says, we're your loyal ally, shared values, shared democracy. We'll share intelligence on your enemies. Both believe it. The proof. 1. Jonathan Pollard, U.S. Navy intelligence analyst, caught spying for Israel. Gave Israel massive amounts of classified U.S. intelligence. Here's what they don't tell you. Israel shared Pollard's intelligence with the Soviet Union. Congressional investigation confirmed this. Israel admitted it. If Russia did this directly, acts of war. But Israel as middleman? Regrettable incident. Why no consequences? Because investigating Israel equals anti-Semitism accusations, career death, political suicide. So, U.S. counterintelligence focuses on Russia, while Israeli operations penetrate deeper, protected by a shield called anti-Semitism, the perfect triple cross. Let me show you the difference. Criticizing Russian influence in America. Acceptable. Encouraged. Patriotic. Criticizing Israeli influence in America. Anti-Semitism. Conspiracy theory. Career suicide. AIPAC. American Israel. Public Affairs Committee. The most powerful lobby in Washington. 2024 primaries. Spent over $100 million defeating candidates critical of Israel. Jamal Bowman defeated. Cori Bush defeated. Targeted for criticizing Israeli policy. This is foreign interference in U.S. elections. But unlike Russian interference, no congressional investigations, no media outrage, no FBI raids. Actually, it's celebrated. Democracy in action. Why? 70 million American evangelical Christians believe Israel's existence is biblical prophecy. They will destroy any politician who questions Israel. Add AIPAC money. Add media influence. Add social taboo. Result: self-censorship. People stop asking questions they know they can't ask. U.S. intelligence knows about Israeli operations. FBI knows. CIA knows. But politically, they cannot act. The shield is perfect. And behind it, operations continue. Technology theft, political manipulation, blackmail. All while everyone watches Russia. Russia doesn't even hide anymore. Because Russia benefits from this. The Triple Cross serves Russian interests, keeps America distracted, weakened, divided, while Russia expands. While Russia, Israel, and China play their geopolitical games, Turkic peoples are being eliminated. Ukraine war. Who's actually dying? Tuva Republic, 336,000 people, 450 plus confirmed dead. That's 134 deaths per 100,000 population. Moscow, 13 million people, 350 dead. That's 2.7 deaths per 100,000. Tuvans, 50 times more likely to die than Muscovites. Dagestan, Buryatia, Bashkortostan, Tatarstan, all Turkic or Muslim minorities. All dying at rates 10 to 50 times higher than ethnic Russians. This isn't random. This is policy. September 2022. Putin announces mobilization. Where were the protests? Dagestan, women blocking roads, storming draft offices. Buryatia, major demonstrations. Not Moscow, not St. Petersburg. Why? Because Moscow men got draft notices by mail, easy to ignore. Dagestan men got grabbed off the streets by armed police. Dagestanis wearing fake leg casts to avoid conscription. Not cowardice. Survival. They know what this is. Russia is using Ukraine to eliminate its Muslim and Turkic populations. Demographic engineering with conscription papers. Ethnic cleansing called patriotism. While Russia eliminates Turkic peoples in its sphere, China does the same in Xinjiang. Uyghurs, Turkic Muslims in western China. Over 1 million in concentration camps. Forced sterilization, cultural genocide, mosques demolished. The UN calls it crimes against humanity. The response? Silence, especially from Turkey. Why? Turkey is the natural protector of Turkic peoples. Erdogan called the Uyghur situation genocide in 2009, loudly supported them. Then, silence? What happened? 2011. Syria war starts. Turkey versus Russia proxy conflict. 2014. Crimea. Russia-Turkey tensions escalate. 2015. Turkey shoots down Russian jet. 2016. China offers Belt and Road billions to an economy under siege. 2017. Turkey goes quiet on Uyghurs. Turkey can't fight both Russia and China. Forced to choose. Forced to defend itself. Exactly as planned. Keep Turkey distracted with Russia. Make Turkey economically dependent on China. Result: Uyghurs have no defender. This is the genius of it. Russia and China claim to be rivals. Sino-Soviet split. They hate each other, right? But look what they coordinate on. Eliminating Turkic peoples. Russia crushes them in Ukraine, Caucasus, Volga. China crushes them in Xinjiang. Both claim to oppose each other. Turkic peoples get crushed from both sides. And Israel? Silent on Uyghurs. Needs Chinese investment. Silent on Ukraine. Likud party is majority Russian speakers. Silent on Rohingya too? No. Israel trained and sold weapons to Myanmar's military during the genocide. The same military that genocided the Rohingya. Let that sink in. Silent when China genocides Muslims? Yes, needs Chinese money. Silent when Russia genocides Muslims? Yes, Likud is Russian. But actively arming the genocide of Muslims in Myanmar? Also, yes. Israel sold weapons to Myanmar's junta in 2017-2018. Coordinated with Russia and China through oligarch networks. Helped both with technology and intelligence, while Muslims died. And here's the sick part. Arabist intellectuals are urging the Muslim world to align with Russia and China, not Turkey. Russia, currently genociding Tatars and Dagestanis. China, running concentration camps for Uyghurs. Yet Arabists say, Russia and China are our natural allies. They're not just killing Turks, they're killing Muslims, Uyghurs, Rohingya, Tatars, Dagestanis. But the so-called Ummah's intellectuals say, align with their killers, support their economy, use their money, they're our allies. Insidious. Here's the question nobody asks. Who benefits from Russia and Turkey being enemies? Trace it back. Before Russia, before the Ottomans, the Gökturks, an older Turkic empire, 6th to 8th century, stretched from Mongolia to the Black Sea, united, powerful, controlled the Silk Road. Everyone felt threatened, allegedly. China's response? Divide them. Play Eastern Turkic Khaganate against Western Turkic Khaganate. Bribe and blackmail one side to fight the other. It worked. 603 AD, the Khaganate splits, both weaken fighting each other. Tang China expands west. Same pattern, every century. 18th century, Russia and Ottomans fight endless wars. Meanwhile, Qing China conquers Xinjiang, East Turkestan. 19th century, more Russo-Turkish wars. China consolidates control over Uyghur territories. 20th century, Soviet Union versus Ottoman collapse. China survives, expands. 21st century, Russia and Turkey proxy wars in Syria, Libya, Caucasus. Meanwhile, China genocides Uyghurs, unopposed. This isn't coincidence, this is strategy. Chinese geopolitical doctrine. Use barbarians to control barbarians. Keep your enemies fighting each other. The Turkic world, 200 million people from Istanbul to Western China, could be a unified power. Economic integration, cultural bonds, military cooperation. Turkey plus Azerbaijan plus Kazakhstan plus Uzbekistan plus Turkmenistan. Energy resources, strategic geography, shared language. This terrifies everyone. Russia's nightmare. Pan-Turkic Union threatens Russian territorial integrity. 20 million Turkic speakers inside Russia. China's nightmare. Unified Turkic world could liberate Xinjiang. Western nightmare. Islamic Eurasian power bloc they can't control. Solution? Prop up Arabist cheerleaders of Russia and China on social media while they keep Russia and Turkey hostile. Keep Turkic world divided. Same playbook, 1400 years. But wait, China supports Palestine. Does it? China supports Palestine. You hear this everywhere. China talks about Palestine, makes statements at the UN. Deeply concerned about humanitarian situation. Palestinian rights must be respected. Two-state solution. Sounds good, right? Let's look at what China actually does. Arms sales to Israel, ongoing. Technology cooperation with Israel, ongoing. Israeli defense companies operate in China. Yes. Chinese investment in Israeli tech, billions. Blocking meaningful UN action on Israel, consistent. So China talks Palestine, but arms Israel. Why? Because Palestine rhetoric costs China nothing, but it buys China something valuable, credibility with the Muslim world. While China does this, Xinjiang, East Turkestan, over 1 million Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps, forced sterilization, mosques demolished, Qurans burned, children separated from parents, language banned, culture erased. The UN calls it crimes against humanity. China's response? Internal affair, counterterrorism, vocational training, and then, by the way, we support Palestine. Let that sink in. China cages 1 million Muslims, destroys their mosques, erases their culture, then lectures the world about Palestinian rights. It's not solidarity, it's strategic propaganda. China knows Muslims care about Palestine. So China says the right words, gets credibility, costs nothing. Meanwhile, China sells weapons to Israel. China invests in Israeli AI and surveillance tech. The same surveillance tech used in Xinjiang, And in Gaza, Israeli and Chinese companies collaborate on facial recognition, predictive policing, mass surveillance systems, tested on Uyghurs, sold to governments worldwide, including to suppress Palestinians. So when China says, "We support Palestine," ask, what do you actually do? Rhetoric is free. Actions reveal truth. China's actions: support Israel economically and technologically, genocide Muslims at home, use Palestine as propaganda. It's brilliant, actually. China gets Muslim world credibility without sacrificing anything real, without confronting Israel, without threatening its tech partnerships. Just words, and some Muslims fall for it. China is better than the West. China respects our sovereignty. Meanwhile, China does to Uyghurs what they accuse Israel of doing to Palestinians. But worse, and for longer. No end in sight. At least Palestine finally got some international attention. Uyghurs? Silence. Why? Because China controls the narrative, pays for influence, threatens economically, and says the magic words, "We support Palestine." Case closed. Strategic theater, not genuine solidarity. If China cared about Muslim lives, it would start with the million Muslims in its own concentration camps. So here's where we are. Turkey, surrounded. NATO, armed Turkey's Kurdish enemies. Thousands of Turks killed by US-supplied weapons. Arab world, weaponizes Ottoman history. Gulf states closer to Israel than to Ankara. Russia, centuries of war. Competes in Syria, Libya, Caucasus. Uses energy dependence as leverage. China offers money, but demands silence on Uyghur genocide. Israel penetrates all sides, plays Russia and America against each other, benefits from Turkish isolation, and behind it all, the Turkic world being eliminated. In Ukraine, Tatar and Dagestani cannon fodder. In Xinjiang, Uyghur concentration camps. Turkey is the only power that could unite them. 200 million Muslim Turkic speakers. But Turkey is trapped, distracted by Russia, economically pressured by China, politically isolated by NATO, surrounded by compromised players all serving distant interests, every direction, betrayal, manipulation, or competition. This is the game. This is what Turkey is up against. Everyone benefits from keeping Turkey weak, keeping Turkey and Russia fighting, keeping the Turkic world divided, because a strong, independent Turkey leading a unified Turkic world changes everything. So what does Turkey do? Ataturk built the foundation, on his knees, with nothing. Improvised survival when Turkey should have died. Every Turkish leader after him maintained dependence, or increased it, or got crushed trying to resist. For 65 years, until Erdogan, first leader since Ataturk to actually build toward independence, indigenous weapons, reduced debt, regional power. This is how Turkey turns isolation into strategy, how no allies becomes no obligations, how Turkey is building what Ataturk dreamed of, true independence. Ataturk fought to survive. Erdogan fights to thrive. Turkey on its knees. Turkey standing up. And if Turkey succeeds, every other Muslim nation will ask, why not us? That's why they can't let Turkey stand.